Hey, it's Megan. So, welcome back to the Think Big, Act Bold Behind the Breakthrough podcast. I'm here with the one and only PC Beats. So, for those of you in the world who don't know who he is, we'll go through a little bit of what you've accomplished so far and the names. I wish I could have listed out a name roster of all the people that you work with, but that would take me about a year. So you own your own studio in Delaware.
Yes.
How long have you been there?
Almost, I would say about 8 years now.
Okay.
I think it's like going on 8 years.
Congrats on that.
Yeah.
You've worked with artists, Deidre. I believe there's a video floating around of Jermaine Dupri calling in on one of your sessions.
Yeah.
Blake Winters.
Yes.
Gillie.
Gillie Da Kid, yes.
So
Yes.
if you want to add a few more names to it, feel free to.
Jack Harlow, Missy Elliott, recently, La Russell, Benny the Butcher. It's been a nice few, just to name a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
So your catalog kind of speaks for itself. So I wanted to, Behind the Breakthrough is really just about sharing your story of behind all of the glitz and glam and the stuff that we're able to share. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we're so busy working that we can't share some of the moments that other people are feeling that no one else talks about. Yeah. So that's the goal here. And I know 8 years in your studio doesn't really give you all the credit that you deserve because that's not where you started.
Right.
The biggest reason I wanted you on was you have this demeanor that you're very, very humble, but your drive is something that I don't think people get to see all the time because from conversations that we've had, I know you've never worked a traditional job.
One job.
Okay.
One job. Yeah.
One job, but you've started this early.
Yeah.
And you knew your passion early. And I hate kind of how schools kind of teach you, hey, figure out what you want to do in life, and then you follow that track for the rest. But for you, and I know it wasn't school-based, but it worked. And a lot of people I know, I won't say my age, but I'm I'm just now finding my passion.
Yeah.
And I look back at people who are younger than me and I'm like, man, what if I was PC and found my passion at a very young age? Where would I be with kind of growing it out and what lessons would I've learned? So I wanted to start off with a flashback moment.
Yes.
And the flashback moment for me was we were working together, just trying to kind of get you more out there, working on your website and just different management stuff. And I can't remember if it was a text or a call, but it was, hey, I found my spot. Yeah. I found this place. I need it, but the guy's not playing around. Like, I have to get it now.
Yeah.
And it was you. So I knew with your drive, you're not calling and you're not just calling around for every little opportunity that rises. It touched you. So it was a, hey, whatever you need, I got it. And you're still there.
Yeah. Good times, by the way.
You're still there.
That was really good times. Those days were really a challenge for me at that time because I had just lost everything right before I got there.
Yep.
So it was really hard for me to kind of I don't know. It was it was a very humbling time for me.
Yeah.
Because, I had once had my own business, but things just did not work out the way, we planned. And I had to just go whatever direction life was taking me at the time. So it was tough. But you guys you and Kev, were great. You guys helped me. You supported me so much, and I'll never forget that. You know what I'm saying?
It was a fun time to be involved. So I'm lucky enough to have been in some of your sessions, and there's this look that you have that you probably don't even realize that you're doing it, but you are so you're not even there.
Yeah.
So your body's sitting there, but you're not there. You're completely in the music.
Yeah.
And all of your body language shows it. Your face shows it. And to see that is it's always been inspirational to me because I'm wait a second, there's this level of passion where you literally lose yourself in that moment. And I've seen you do it with multiple artists. So it's not just, oh, I just loved working with this artist. I was looking forward to this artist. Every artist that I've seen you, like I've personally watched you work with, it's completely like you're fully engulfed in their journey. And I think it speaks very highly on just you as a person beyond the producer that you are. So I definitely wanted to commend you on that. And we actually saw old videos of you in our basement recording. Wow. And I can't remember.
Was it when I was working with Dev?
Was it when he was working with?
I know you had came out and we had a bunch of people kind of sitting around listening to stuff. You were trying to figure out what's going on your website.
Okay.
And so you were like playing a bunch of different stuff for us.
It might have just been a listening session.
Yeah,
we might have just like.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might have
I think
tricked
your
you
dad
out.
was there that day.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Has some of your beats in the ringtone. That was probably like 5-6 years ago.
I remember
No,
that.
that would have been
Dang,
before
that's
the
crazy.
studio.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely a while ago.
Wow. Sheesh. It's been a while.
So what's been one of the moments where I like to ask this question because it really makes you think. So if it takes a second, that's fine. What's one of those moments where you were like because entrepreneurship is a roller coaster, kind of like at a bottom and like, okay, like for me, I'm kind of like, I'll look and I'll be like, okay, I'm getting a job. Nope, this is easier.
Oh my gosh.
What's been one of those moments that you were like, man, how am I going to get back up? How am I going to climb back up?
For me, that moment was when one of my friends that was in the studio was murdered in front of me, and I literally lost everything. I didn't even know how I was going to get back in the studio at that time because it happened in the studio for me. So, I don't know. I kind of just. I have such a love-hate relationship with music. And, we're going to keep it real today, right? But I just had I didn't know how I was going to be able to recover from that because seeing something like that was really, like, traumatic for me. And the fact that I was still in that environment, it plays with my emotions a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I just kind of go against whatever it is that I'm feeling at that moment and just do what I know just do what I know how to do. That's the best way I can explain it. In any situation like that, it's just like, even though I might hate music at that moment, I still just do it, even if I don't want to. You know?
Yeah. I can't imagine kind of going through
crazy.
it and then still trying to recover. But then I think for you, the love-hate with music also brings you out of different feelings and different things that are going on too. So
Absolutely. It's been days where I needed the music. Like, if I didn't make the music that day, I just was going to have a really bad day. And sometimes it's like a drug.
Yeah.
It's like a drug. It's like something that I can tamper with and do whatever I want. It's like being able to do whatever I feel whenever I want, however I want, with no rules, It's just like to be able to mess around with sound and stuff like that. And it'll change my mood throughout the day.
Then you're in complete control, which in life there's very few things where
you can control,
we're in
right?
complete control.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've had your breakthrough moment yet? Like that moment that's like really defined you and your career?
I had a moment. I had one of them. I don't think I've reached my full potential yet. But yeah, I did have a moment when I went to Texas and I went to that South by Southwest beat battle. And I got to battle all those producers down there. I did not know what I was going up against when I went down there. All I saw was that this battle was like $700 to get in. And I'm just like, sheesh, why is it so expensive?
Yeah.
Like, I did it anyway. It was around my birthday. So we went, and it turned out to be one of the greatest moments of my career, hands down. And shortly after that battle, I was able to meet all of these super producers, like Superstar O. I looked up to Superstar O before I was really like big
Okay.
into making music. You know what I'm saying? And I got to meet him. Then I got to meet C Note, and then I'm meeting Justice League. Now those Justice League was always like my favorite, and the fact that I was able to meet them off of the beat battle, it just let me know that I just gotta take chances.
How many? So beat battles for you, because I know you've done a few, of course, in Texas, and I know I saw one, and it might be a few years ago, but you did one in Delaware or Philly.
It was one in Philly, yeah.
Okay. What does the beat battles give you as a producer?
I love beat battles. I mean, it's like I'm a naturally competitive type of person.
Okay.
Sometimes, like, when it comes to being competitive, I love being competitive. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. Like, me and my cousin, we make beats together now, and me and him are very competitive with each other.
Okay.
But it's always good, though, to be competitive because it makes you better.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just like being able to talk trash to people that they could look you in your face and just act like they're doing something to you with the beat. It's great. I love beat battles. You get to show off your skills.
Now, you
And-
talk trash during, or
Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
didn't know if it was like we're going to like digitally talk trash for the
Oh
beat.
yeah. You can digitally talk trash too, but it's just something about being able to be on stage in front of these people and they're seeing you like, yo, this my beat, and then the other guy's like, well, this my beat. It's just like it's something you just have to experience. It's beat battles are great. I love it. I'm actually about to do one in July on the 27th. Yeah, it's gonna be really big.
Where can they come see it?
So this is gonna be in Wilmington, Delaware.
Okay.
Delaware doesn't have a lot of events going on, so I feel like that this is going to be a great platform for producers to get to be seen, because I got press involved. I got all of these things in line, and like companies that are actually working with me to help throw this event,
Awesome.
which is going to be so great, and I can't wait. So, yeah, we just want to give them a platform so that they can shine, because everybody that works hard deserves it,
Right.
So.
How do you feel, and my opinion may be wrong, but I feel like producers are always behind the scenes, where it's like, I don't think people realize, especially, and I think it was when you were working with Blake, and I had a conversation with Blake when, I want to say he was on Chris Brown's album.
Yeah.
And that made me actually pay attention to like the credits. And it was like, wow. So you never know like when an artist even comes into the situation, because there's so many writers, there's producers. How does it feel kind of being involved in some major releases? But for you, it's kind of like, yeah, you might get your credit name, and I know you've gotten at least one plaque. But how does it feel kind of being behind the scenes? Do you enjoy it, or are you kind of like, man, I deserve more shine. I deserve to be kind of in front of the spotlight.
As a producer, I kind of love being behind the scenes.
Okay.
Sometimes for certain situations. If I'm just making a beat, I don't really see, me being out front. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me, because you're the beat. You're the person that's just providing the music. But if the artist is on there, I feel like they deserve the shine. They're the ones that got to be the face. They got to step out there and really walk through life with their songs.
Yeah.
So
where you can kind of hide if you want to hide.
And I love it. I love being behind the scenes. Just being able to say, yeah, I was a part of that. It's a great feeling for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wonder that, because like for me, I'm a behind the scenes person.
Yeah.
Like there's no ounce of my body that wants to be famous. There's like, I want to be able to walk and not get stopped. I don't want all the glitz and glam and all of
Yeah.
that. I want to wear my hoodies and sweatpants and mind my business. So I wondered, I was like, man, but I've never had the ties like you have had where it's kind of like, man, I wonder how that feels.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to stay, or you kind of like, you're more in control, because some of the artists that you worked with, they lost control of their lives.
Right.
And it sucks kind of seeing, because I couldn't imagine living and not having an ounce of privacy besides kind of locking myself in my room.
Yeah. You get tired of that stuff, like all of the attention sometimes. At least me. I can't speak for anybody else, but I couldn't imagine not having no privacy either.
Right.
Like, that's just crazy.
So if you could estimate how many beats that you have made.
Sheesh.
I should have led and warned you I was going to ask that question.
I lost count of how many computers I had, to be honest. Like, if I was to count computers that I done maxed out with sounds and just beats, I'm over 10. I know for a fact 10 computers alone. And we're talking about 500 to a terabyte per computer. So I can't even imagine how many beats. I'm well over 10,000 beats. I don't know. I just made 3 yesterday. So I don't know. Like, it's just, man, I couldn't even give you a number. It got to a point where I ran out of names for making my beats. So I just started numbering them, putting numbers on them. And I remember getting up to like 1,000 something somewhere on just one computer. And that was probably like 7 computers ago.
Okay.
So now I just don't even know what to say. I'll make phrases now, or manifestations through the names and stuff like that. Like, that's just what I'm on.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, are most of your beats made for a purpose, or more of you're kind of in the creative zone and you're just kind of like use it when it's there?
Yeah, so all my music now is they all have a purpose, but they all really just based off of how I feel at that moment.
Okay.
If I'm feeling down or whatever, I'll make a down type of track. If I feel uplifted and hype, I'll do that. I feel like creating in the emotion is the best way to create, because, that's how you feel at that present time.
Right.
You can't, creating something that you don't feel at that moment doesn't feel as genuine to me. For me, so.
Is it hard to create, because I'm sure you've created beats kind of like on spot with artists.
Yeah.
Is that a harder process?
No. I mean,
Okay.
because I done did this so much.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I know how to make, I remember chord progressions that will feel this way. So it's like, I can do those chord progressions and just kind of, it's like muscle memory.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's like muscle memory in my brain that I know these chords or sounds would work to fit this vibe, So it's not that hard. Because Missy made me make beats in front of her, which was really, really nerve-wracking for me.
I'd have been like this. Like,
Yeah, I was scared. I was nervous. I'm not even gonna lie. I was so shook. I was shook like crazy. Like it turned out real well though. But because that's Missy Elliott. She got different sounds. So you got to be creative when you work with her.
Right.
But yeah, I was able to nail it, and it turned out really well. So I can't wait to see what happens with those songs.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have, and I hate to say a hit list, I probably need a better word, but do you have a list of artists that you're kind of like, they're who I want to work with, or it's kind of like, if I work with this artist, that's my breakthrough moment, that's my PC made it?
I want to work with Drake and Kendrick. I want to work with them so bad. Like, well, Kendrick more than anything. I would love to work with Kendrick. If I work with Kendrick, that's a breakthrough moment for me. Like, it's huge. Or, yeah, Drake. Of course. Who wouldn't want to work with Drake? one of the biggest artists ever. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. And maybe like Maroon 5 sometime.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to work with Maroon 5, like bad.
And they have like a different style, but
Yeah.
it like works. I think I like them because it kind of works in so many different like areas where a lot of people are super segmented, where
Yeah.
they can kind of like get away of kind of like crossing borders when it comes to music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there, so you have your hit list. What would be next steps? Like for producers watching that are kind of like just starting, what would your advice be to like, okay, if they have their list of people that they want to work with, what would be your advice to kind of shooting their shot?
Don't reach out to the artist, reach out to the management. Reach to the people that are behind the scenes with them. Do the research on who's doing all their bookings. Do research on who's handling all of their business. And those are the people that you want to reach out to. Because reaching out directly to the artist, they have too much going on. Like they're worried about what they have to do that day. You don't want to hit them up. You want to hit up the people that are booking the next thing for them. So those are the people that I would reach out to.
I like that advice.
Yeah.
Because I reach out to whoever.
Yeah.
I actually, one of my favorite artists is Nicholas F. So I reached out when we were working. I actually reached out directly to him. And I was like, hey. And my issue was I would go to the gym or go to listen to music, and he wasn't on any platforms. And I'm like, hey, can I help you? Like, get your music on platforms? Because I just want to, like, be able to hear it without trying to get a CD out. And,
Right.
and we didn't end up working together, but he did respond. And within, like, a few months, his music was up on distribution channels. So he didn't go through me.
That's crazy.
That would have been a nice flex. But I got what I wanted. At the end of the day, I just wanted to be able to go onto Apple Music and be able to listen to some of his old stuff. And I think when he like transitioned and kind of changed styles, he was trying to leave some of that behind. But I'm like, no, you got to bring that with you. So I would have never really thought. And I guess like for yours, I mean, you're going for some heavy hitters. So they're definitely going to be pretty busy. As far as responding, if they even look.
Yeah, sometimes they don't even manage their accounts.
Yeah.
So if you're hitting up somebody big, chances are they have a whole marketing team that's taking care of all of that. So you'd be better off just reaching out to the people that are behind the scenes. Read those credits, y'all.
That's some good advice.
Yeah.
Because I think the credits are overlooked. A
yeah.
lot, and that kind of gives
That's
you
all
the
the
names.
information you need.
Yep.
That's all the information you need. You literally read the credits. It'll tell you who the music supervisors are. Those are the people that are literally paid to find music. Music supervisors. You want to look them up. Pay attention to those credits. Those are the ones. Those are the answers for you. If you're really trying to break in.
I like it. So the laboratory.
Yeah.
Up and going, about 8 years. What can people... So if they're looking to get more information on the laboratory and what you offer out of there, what kind of services do you offer? What kind of services can they come in and record? Can other producers use it? Are you the only solo producer working out of it?
So no, I actually now have another producer that works very close, and he's huge. He's bigger than me. His name is Zukan Beats, and he did some of the biggest hip hop records of all time. Balling for Rick Ross, balling for Jim Jones. He did balling for Jim Jones, P Popper for Ludacris, Rock Army for Jay-Z. He's worked with Beyonce. He's like super big. And he's from my neighborhood in Philadelphia. Wow. And so I met him through my dad, which is crazy. And me and him are like brothers. Like, I can call him anytime, and we just talk about stuff. But, yeah, Zukan is a brother, uncle, mentor. Love him, love him, love him, love him. He's such a big help. He's came through for me a lot in times of need. Because, like, this entrepreneur journey is really a roller coaster.
Yep.
It's really, you have your highs and lows, and man, shout out to Zukan. Yeah, it's crazy. But if they want to find out more about the laboratory studios, I just got a website built, the laboratorystudios.net. You can go there and just kind of read up on all the stuff that we got going on. We provide mixing, production, mastering, coaching, consultation, stuff like that. So, yeah, we're offering all of that stuff. So, yeah.
So we talked about the lows a little bit. How do you celebrate the highs? Is there like something where it's like, oh, this is what I'm doing?
You know, because I live the way I live, because it's so up and down, I'm so much more cautious with my money, and just cautious with. I move so much more cautious. I don't really care about partying. I don't care about clubs. I don't care about bars. I don't drink or smoke. So, at the end of the day, honestly, a celebration day is going out to dinner with my family and friends. You know, that's as simple as it gets for me. You know, as long as I got the people that I love around me, and then we can talk and just laugh and joke, and that's celebration for me.
What I've learned, kind of like talking to other entrepreneurs through this, I asked that question for a big reason. We're really bad about celebrating. So a lot of times people won't have an answer. Like for me, something big will happen, and I'm on to like the next step. So I had a women's conference. It was like 50 people in here. Amazing event. People are crying, people are laughing, people are connected. It was everything perfect. And the next day we went into shooting, I think like 8 baseball teams or something, or football, some kind of sports teams. And I realized, I was like, wait a second, you never took a moment to celebrate your win. I brought a room full of women together, and it was kind of like, I wonder how many people are like me, where it's kind of, and yeah, it doesn't have to be the drinking, the vacations, the bars, the clubs, but it's kind of like it was that reminder of, hey, those big moments, like take your moment, because those lows hit hard.
Yeah,
so if you're
they
not
do.
celebrating the big times, then those lows hit even harder because you're in the run of every day. And I think I'm like very goal oriented. So when I achieve a goal, I'm just on to the next goal. Like there is no pause. And it's like, no, like buy yourself balloons or something. Like do something. So I try to encourage people to celebrate the wins a lot more, because I think we don't have a choice but to continue the hustle.
Got to.
And it feels good, like the hustle. And I hate comparing things to drugs, but the hustle is a drug. It's an adrenaline rush. When you're in the moment of the hustle, like I have learned to fall in love with it. So I'm not falling in love with the accomplishments. So when I get the accomplishment, it's not like this big, oh my gosh, we did this. It's kind of like the grind to get there is like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, I need that hustle back. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And it's like, ooh, sit down. Like,
especially when you accomplish like a small goal that's closer to the goal that you really want. It's like, oh, I might be on to something. Like,
or it happens quicker than planned, and you're like, wait, that was like next year's goal.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you had an answer for celebrating the wins.
Yeah. A day in the life with family is a great day for me. Just want to laugh and joke, talk trash, and play the game or something.
All right, I have 2 more questions.
Okay.
First, I know we talked a little bit about you kind of working with artists more. So what does the rest of 2024 look like for PC Beats and the lab, and what like next few years look like?
This year for sure, I'm focusing on me. And it's been a very long time for me to do something like that. I've never, ever done that because I've always been behind the scenes for everyone else. So this year, building up myself as an artist and a producer. I'm just building up the platforms. and still, still doing what I do. Like if I get placements here and there, cool, great. But more so focusing on imagery for me and just doing what I've always kind of wanted to do behind the scenes in front now.
Okay.
Put myself out there. So this is gonna be. I put myself out there a couple times, but not the way I'm doing it this way. I'm doing it completely different. I'm rebranding my entire image, and yeah, we're gonna see how this works. I'm very excited about it, but nervous at the same time.
So there's a few tracks coming out because I know I've heard a few tracks, and I wasn't going to bring it up, but
Yeah.
producer, yes, and that you've kind of flourished. So it's funny because I feel like almost like producer wise, you're kind of at this height, and I think like as entrepreneurs, it's like okay, once you reach a certain height, you need a new challenge.
Right.
So I feel like now you're kind of like digging into your new challenge, and
Yeah.
you know you're good at it. So I've
Yeah,
heard the releases before, and it was like, wait a second, like
Yeah.
he's behind the computer so much, but
Yeah.
put him in the booth, and it's pretty
That's the
amazing
thing.
what comes out.
That's the thing. So like when you spend so much time building up other artists and working with different types of people, you learn things about yourself. Like, oh, well, I would have did this on the track. I would have did this. And then there's beats like, that I like to make that I know just wouldn't sound right with anybody else. It
Okay.
just works just for me. And those are the tracks that I've been singing on and like kind of being an artist on, whether it be me rapping or singing, just putting myself out there. I'm super nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I'm terrified, like, to perform live in front of people. But I know it's something that has to be done, So what I'm gonna start doing is me and Zukan are gonna start practicing live performances and stuff,
Okay.
so I can build my confidence. Because I know, when you practice enough, you'll get good at it and comfortable
Yeah.
with certain things, So yeah, I'm just looking forward to like how everything is getting ready to look and just like be presented, because they're seeing the side of me that I don't let out,
Right.
So yeah.
And you can tell by your expression, you have this
it's about to
vision,
be
so you already
crazy.
know exactly how it's gonna look.
Yeah.
We just have to wait for it to come out.
Yeah, it's real soon. Real soon.
Well, feel free to share anything you want. I won't ask any questions about it because
You can. I mean, if you want, I'm open to it.
It's all produced by you, also.
Everything. Everything's produced by me. I did team up with like a few producers. Trev is one of them.
Okay.
Trev has one of my singles. He actually produced a really good song for me. So I did work with Trev the producer. Is it B Trev or Trev the dad? What is it? I don't know which one it is anymore. Is it B Trev?
We'll have to ask him a little.
Yeah.
I feel
Sorry,
like
Trev. My
Hey,
bad, man.
Trev in the comments. Is it B Trev, Trev the dad, Trev the producer?
Yo, Trev.
We need answers.
I did his tag. I don't know if y'all know that. I did his tag for him. But yeah, Trev, Zukan, of course. I have to get production from him, and mainly me and G Fears. Oh yeah, we can't forget G Fears in Houston. Can't forget him. Such an amazing producer. We gotta get you back out here so we can keep working, bro. Cause we got a lot of work to do. But yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah. Before I ask my last question, Kev, we can, if you had a few questions you need to get off your chest.
Have you considered mentoring, like, younger, how it was being 15, 16, 19, 24, so have you considered any kind of like 1-day program, 2-week course, some kind of curriculum for people trying to learn, whether it's your style or whether it's just production in general?
So I do mentor this kid out here in Maryland. He's an inner city kid from Baltimore. Um, I'm mentoring him through life first.
Sure.
He does do music, but I'm mentoring him to like make the right decisions when it comes to just how people are, because Baltimore's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it reminds me of Philly, and I'm teaching him through life right now, but he does do music, and I do help him with music as well. Um, but yeah, I'm going to be starting up a course
Okay.
really soon in Wilmington, in
Nice.
Wilmington, Delaware. I'm gonna be setting that up soon, but it's gonna be after the beat battle and
Okay.
stuff. But that's our icebreaker event, and then after that course for mixing and production, because I gotta pass this stuff on. I can't just keep all of this knowledge to myself.
Can you speak on how important it's been to have a mentor?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like
Having a mentor gives you guidelines on how to make decisions. Because making decisions is like so important when you're an entrepreneur so that you don't fall short of other things. So, yeah, like Zukan just giving me advice on how to handle business without my emotions being involved and stuff like that has been a really valuable lesson. And he's so smart. And it frustrates me because he's always right about stuff because I don't want him to be right about certain things, but he's so right. Like he just knows how to handle himself when it comes to, dealing with companies and stuff and labels and stuff like that. So it's just he's teaching me a lot. So yeah, mentorship is like really important because when you learn how to handle yourself, you could put yourself in a better situation
Yep.
later on, So
okay. And then last thing would be attending events. Like, how do you feel? I mean, I know you've like gone away and attended. You've held stuff locally. You've won events. Contests locally. What could someone gain, whether it's network or anything like that, from attending events?
Well, attending events is always good because you're surrounding yourself around like minded people that do the same thing you do that could be farther or behind you, but you could still learn from these people, whether they're ahead or behind you in careers. Yeah, attending events is something that I hate doing. I'm not going to lie to you. I hate it. I hate going out to network with these people or just people, period. Like sometimes I just want to stay home and
Right. Your
create.
comfort zone
Right.
is where you.
Yeah, but it forces you to step
said
out your comfort zone and
you said one of your best experiences in your
exactly.
whole life.
Yeah, and my entire career was going all the way across the country to meet people I never met before in front of a lot of people. Because if you go to South by Southwest, it's like you ever seen The Walking Dead? You've seen all those people just walking in the street. It's just like that. It's like it's crazy. So that definitely was out of my comfort zone, but it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. So, yeah, go to them events because it helps you.
Good questions.
Yeah.
So, my last question is usually one piece of advice you'd like to leave for entrepreneurs, whether it's music industry, whether it's just entrepreneurs in general. How many years have you been pursuing your entrepreneurship journey?
I'm close to 20. I'm close to like 20 years now.
So you have 20 years of mistakes, 20 years of successes, 20 years of the roller coaster ride.
20 years of confidence, 20 years of lows, no confidence. 20 years of just everything. Entrepreneurs. I know you have a standard for your businesses, but you can't do everything by yourself. You need a team. You need a team. If you're trying to accomplish like real goals, big things, you're going to need a team of people. Put them through the ringer. Test your people, you know? My issue is that I used to like try to do everything by myself, and that's just not. It's not the way, because you can burn yourself out and resent your business because it might not work. But everybody has strengths and everybody has weaknesses, and you just got to play on your strengths with other people and get a team, man. Stop trying to do everything by yourself. And if you don't have, like, if they don't meet the standards, give your team the knowledge. Like, give them the knowledge. Don't be afraid to hold back the information, because the stronger your team, the stronger your impact.
And it takes it all off your plate. I'm bad about team. So, but it is like that one lesson where I like, why didn't I just like learn this a little bit sooner? Because you don't realize the impact of not having a team, how much time it's taking away from the creativity, and making your brain do something it doesn't want to do. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
But that's it for us. So thank you for coming on.
Thank
This
you for
is
having me.
our first episode, basically the re-release of Behind the Breakthrough. I couldn't have had a better guest, and
I appreciate you.
appreciate the travels. I appreciate the connections. I can't wait to see all of the big things. We're almost like halfway through the year, and you've named like 10 things that you have coming out. So I'm excited. See ya.